What's going on, guys? We just popped back in here. It's Friday. I'm gonna run through a pitch design session today. We're kind of in a little in-between week, so it's been a little bit more fluid of a program, but we're going to kind of run through a pitch design change-up session today. I've been working on a seam shifted change-up this off season, and it hasn't gone great, but I feel like I'm finally getting it a little bit better right now. So we're gonna kind of run through it and see what the TrackMan has to say about it today. So throughout this off season, I've been working on trying to develop a changeup. Typically, I've been better historically with like supinated pitches, meaning cutters, sliders, curveballs. The changeup's been hard for me to grasp because rolling it off of, you know, more of a pronated off of this finger has been difficult for me to do because I am more, you know, developed on my supinated side more than likely. So what I've tried to do this year is to develop a changeup that kind of plays more into my strong suit, and the way that we've gone about doing it is a seam shifted wake changeup, which is really just a fancy word for how we're trying to get the ball spin, the seam orientation, and letting that kind of help project the movement profile and more of a, you know, killing vertical and maximizing my horizontal break to my arm side. Obviously, all things that, you know, a changeup, you know, is designed to do. So I've been through all kinds of different grips, you know, here, you know, all over the place this off season, trying to find that right grip for me to get the seam orientation that we want. And what I've found success with in doing these last couple weeks here is this grip right here, where, you know, my fingers are kind of going down to the horseshoe, but this finger is really important and it's hooking this seam, and I'm trying to actually throw this with a little bit more of a supinated approach, and when this ball comes out of my hand, this seam grabs and it ends up spinning like that. And if I do it right, the good ones I've been getting down around 2 or 3 of my vertical break, and horizontal break's been like a positive, you know, 16 or above. And, you know, the separation off my fastball with my fastball, like, is 18 vertical break and higher, you know, and the mile-an-hour difference is probably, you know, 8 to 10 when it's really good. So that's what I'm shooting for today. I'm gonna try to see if I can repeat it up on the mound today. Playing catch, it felt pretty good, and I was doing it. It was probably like 6 out of the 7 or 8 that I threw felt like it was coming out the right way, but that's why we also like to hop up there and get the data feedback to confirm kind of what our eyes are seeing. So I'm gonna jump up on the mound. I got like a 20 to 30 pitch bullpen today. My primary focus is getting that changeup dialed in. First things first is gonna be getting the movement profile dialed in. You can't ever try to start commanding the pitch if it's moving in different shapes and fashions, right? So we got to get the movement profile down, and then we take that movement profile and then we try to command it in and out of the strike zone. It also didn't feel much better. It's like it's coming out more over here instead of like being more dominated by these two fingers where it comes out that way. It feels like it's kind of dragging across.
You're just like swiping across it with your middle finger instead of coming straight down it.
Through it, yeah. And that's what I'd say it feels like too. I can feel like this seam running off of this finger more. And when I've done it well, remember I was describing like really biting off of this finger.
Yeah.
Heater here, back to it. Top bar.
Yeah.
Sir, let's go. Just 3 in a row. Between that hand position and the other one's like hardly any, if all.
Hardly any.
Yeah. But the way I can feel it roll off the end of my finger is that it's less dominated by this finger, and it's just more coming off of this finger where it rolls off like that.
That's getting your hand in a little bit better spot this way instead of being more behind it like you want to be, right?
Right.
So I think that's the feeling that we got to run with. Accurate?
Yeah. It was like a looser wrist. Do you think that it, I mean, clearly I'm getting to pronation. You get to pronation on every pitch. But do you think in thinking that too, especially on the changeup like this, helps you kind of accelerate through that pronation a little faster? That's almost what that felt like. It felt like my wrist was like a little looser. I was able to hold that longer, but it also felt like because of that, it was like faster hand through it. Maybe it has an impact on the pitch or no?
Probably less on like the movement, like all the movement that you're getting is based on seam orientation.
Okay. Because that, I think that you're spot on. That's what it looks like on there too. It just helps me get to this spot of the ball there where that's like dominating the movement.
Instead of getting too far, like the traditional changeup where you're trying to come through it this way, it's like we're keeping that supination as long as possible and pulling straight down on it.
Change up again. All right, so some feedback from the data here. You know, you can see the green dots. All those are my changeups. The whites are warm-ups. The blacks are the fastballs. The greens are all the changeups. And you can see some of them are kind of up there by that fastball. The good ones are the ones that are kind of down here. So I was trying to repeat as much of that hand placement, grip pressure, repeat that pitch as many times as I can. When I get it down there, it's got really good separation away from my fastball. So overall, I thought it was pretty decent. You know, trying to repeat that pitch. That's basically what I've been doing this whole off season. You know, kind of searching for that feel of what it feels like to repeat that good changeup. And you can see like my good ones are, you know, -4 and 15. You know, my best ones I've thrown is like -2 vert and 16 horizontal. So overall, I'd say pretty decent. Still going back and forth with that feel that I'd like to repeat better, obviously, before I take that pitch into a game. But this is the type of setting where you got to kind of work through learning the new pitches. You learn it in a setting like this and throw it a ton of times before you ever try to roll it out into a game setting. So this is kind of the lab setting of it, trying to get just the overall movement profiles down, you know, and then obviously seeing the hand placement, you know, there with the paired up camera, you know, gives me really good feedback, you know, that at 81.8 miles an hour, that hand and grip pressure, you know, produces this type of movement profile. And I know that that movement profile is gonna grade out, score out pretty high, gonna be really effective against the hitters. And then once I can get that thing really dialed in is when I would roll that over and actually start throwing it more in live settings, game settings, and ultimately roll it out into my arsenal on the game mound. So overall, I thought it was pretty decent. Still looking to try to keep dialing that pitch in, but that's the overall setting and vibe for a pitch design session like this. So I'm gonna finish up with my arm care stuff today. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like video like this, leave me some comments, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.